Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to have a look at German Unity Day in War Thunder. Usually every year it is accompanied with some sales and also a decal, and this year is absolutely no different. Basically, for many decades following the end of the Second World War, Germany was divided into two countries. It was only until 1989 when the process of German unification of the German Democratic Republic and the Federal Republic of Germany began, with the official consolidation starting today on the 3rd of October 1990. The state celebrated as German Unity Day every year. So in War Thunder they actually celebrate it as well. They always do a bunch of different things, and we just had the Chinese sales, so now it's time for the German sales. So from the 3rd of October until the 6th of October, you can get access to the Seahawk Mark 100 and then also the PZSFL-1C, which is the fun little mini tiger, as people call it. We'll go through both of the vehicles in this video, just to give you an idea of how they are, and also there is a decal on offer. So from the 3rd of October to the 6th, if you play 3 battles using German vehicles, you can receive the German Unity Day decal, which looks fantastic if I'm honest with you. It's a really nice art style. Hopefully going forward we get a similar set of kind of decals like this. Usually they have themes for decals every year, or at least every so often, and it would be nice to see more of these types. I think they're awesome. So the first vehicle is the Seahawk Mark 100. Now, this vehicle is rank 5, battle rating 8.0, at least in realistic. One of the interesting things about this vehicle is it's one of the lowest, if not the lowest vehicles, with access to sidewinders, or even access to any air-to-air missiles. There are some other vehicles which are pretty low, which have access to air-to-airs, but just not fire and forget kind of IR missiles. Instead, you get stuff like the fire flashes for the British, and the AIM-9Bs definitely help this vehicle out. Not sure if they are super useful, because a lot of the vehicles you face in this thing don't have crazy, hot engines, so what ends up happening is you fire them and then it loses track pretty quickly. But overall, it does mean that you can set up targets pretty well. Usually AIM-9Bs at this level, when I use them, not even at this level, but also like 879093, they're setup missiles. So you either go after people who are going really slow, so they just can't dodge the missiles, and then the missile will just sometimes decide it can't hit anyway. But the main thing you use them for is to slow down a vehicle to be able to finish them off. And that's how I use the Seahawk Mark 100 and many other vehicles which are similar to it. You fire the missile to slow down the enemy, and once they start turning, then you finish them off with the 4 20mm Spanner Mark 5s, which this vehicle has, which firepower-wise is quite nice for the vehicle itself. It is also quite a small, nimble vehicle. It has access to the Nini, or the Nene, so it can at least put out some decent speed. It is a very maneuverable vehicle as well. I feel like it isn't the best performing vehicle in that regard though, especially at this BR. There's a lot of Soviet jets which handle really well at these BRs, so you're going to have to use your weaponry to your advantage and use it pretty effectively. Another thing to also know about this vehicle is they did give it access to the secondary armament stuff. So you can actually create your own secondary armaments, and this thing can actually bring along 1,000 pounders. So you can bring a mixed loadout of 2 1000s and then also 2 AIM-9Bs in ground realistic, which can be super useful as a vehicle to do some air-to-air combat and also some ground combats. You can also mix and match some other things. You know, you can bring the rockets with the bombs, or what you could do if you really wanted to is, instead of bringing sidewinders, you could maybe try and set up some little things like this, or if you're not able to do that, maybe some AP rockets on top of it to bring some different ideas along. It really depends on what you feel like with this vehicle and how it plays. So is the vehicle itself the best performing in the area? Probably not, but it has some tools which you don't really see from other vehicles going forward, which I think is actually kind of cool. Like, it's nice that exists, and I've seen many people use them very effectively in order to get some kills. The 8-0 lineup for Germany is also super strong right now after the BR changes. I know 8-7 is crazy strong for the Soviets, so you get up-tiered a lot, but if you actually play at your tier, you can do really well. Rakuten Automat, Rakuten Jagdpanzer 2, Leopard 1, obviously these two are still around, and then of course the Marder 103 and the DF 105 as well, all make a fantastic lineup for 8-0 that you can bring along with the Seahawk, and then also and also stuff like the Jabbo, or even the IL-28 or the Arado series, which are very good at dropping bombs. The PZSFL-1C is also available, or the 5cm Pak 38 Auf Panzerkampfwagen 2 Sonderfahrtsgestell 901. This is the Mini Tiger as it's known, or basically a little light tank with access to a fun gun. The reason why it's called the Mini Tiger is because it kind of resembles a tiger, even though it is a Diddy one. And it's a very fun vehicle to play. Usually this thing comes back in a pack and is normally much better value than it is just for GE, but it's still a fantastic vehicle at the end of the day to be able to play. The vehicle has the 50mm Pak 38. If you don't know this gun, it works really, really well. It has over 100mm of pen with its APC and also HE filler, so if you pen, you do a lot of damage, and it works really well. If you need more penetration, you obviously have the PZGR, which can penetrate pretty decently on flats, and then of course the APC can go through everything else. It is a scout as well, so you can scout around with it, and also it has the BR of a rank 1 vehicle, but it is a rank 2, so that kind of helps it out. It means that you can do the first daily of the day, which is quite nice, but at the same time, it also means that you are limited because you can't do any of the events really with it, or you can't do anything else with it. The vehicle itself is limited in a few other ways as well. It doesn't really have any survivability apart from its mobility, where it can go forward quite well and can go backwards a little bit, and also the turret traverse is not fully 360, or at least it wasn't the last time that I played it, and that obviously hindered the vehicle a little bit in the way that it was set up. I honestly think when it comes to this vehicle, it is really fun, and the lineup that you can build around it with the Stug, the Panzer 3J, and then also a lot of other vehicles at the lower tiers makes it pretty fun. You know, you have also that Panzer 38 TNA they added, and the Panzer 38 TF, so you have a ton of stuff like the Marder as well that you can bring along and kind of spade with it. This would actually be kind of a nice vehicle to have to start with the German tech tree. So if you're a person who's looking to get into the German tech tree, I feel like this doesn't really give you a perfect look into what the German tech tree is, but it can give you a little bit of a boost and a little bit of fun at the same time. It's also a vehicle to go back to if you've had a tough day of grinding, or if you just want to kind of chill for a bit, maybe play with some mates, or just, you know, go around and shoot things at low tier. And I have many times been able to do that and have fun. I don't think this thing is going to be in many pages of history events though, or anything like that, so if you're going to pick it up for that, I don't think it's going to work, but at the same time, it is a bit of fun, and it can be very enjoyable. Those are the two vehicles that are on offer for German Unity Day. Hopefully the event's going well for you, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Juan the Panda, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Bareen, Peter Grayling, Alan Hacker, Sem Alslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R., and also Lafouche for supporting the channel.